For a while now, I've been using Strapi, and one question always comes up in the community, and that is, can I swap out the default rich text editor in Strapi? The answer is yes, you can actually swap it out. And in this video, I'll show you how to replace the what you see is what you get editor, also known as WYSIWYG editor, in Strapi with a custom editor. We'll be using the Tiptap editor, which is a community plugin developed by Notum Technologies. And by the end of this video, you will have a Strapi backend with a fully configured Tiptap editor, and we'll use Next.js to fetch and render this content on your front end. So let's get started. So before we begin, here is what we are building. Here is my Strapi dashboard. And as you can see, I have my blog collection type with fields, title, banner, and content. Content holds my Tiptap content. And as you can see, it looks like a prose mirror-like document, which we'll see in the later sections of this video. So when I click an entry, you can see my extensions provided by Tiptap. And here is my content, which I can then display on my front end. Here is my front end with my blog post entries. And when I click on an entry, you can see that the content is rendered. Before we begin, I have an interesting information to share with you. Strapi has the plugin marketplace where community members build and ship exciting features. And as you can see, there are lots of plugins available. Anyone, any company, any individual can build and ship directly to the Strapi marketplace. The market is open, the docs are there, the community is there. So over here, we have the Tiptap, and this is what we are going to be using. And as you can see, the author is Notum Technologies, and we'll be using this editor to replace the default Strapi editor. So let's start building. So we'll begin by bootstrapping a new Strapi project. And to do that, we'll do npx create Strapi app at latest, and then the name of your project. I will call it Tiptap integration, and I'll hit enter. Okay, to proceed, I'll select yes. So ensure you answer the prompts, and here are the ones for this integration. For login or sign up, I will skip. Do you want to use the default database? I will select yes. An example structure and data, I will say no. Start with TypeScript, I'll say yes. Install dependencies with npm, I'll say yes because I like npm. Initialize a Git repository, I'll say no. And then I'll wait for the dependencies to be installed. Once that is done, cd into your Tiptap integration and run the npm run dev command to start up your Strapi development server. This will automatically open up a Strapi admin registration page. So make sure you fill in your details and hit the let's start. So I'll do that. And here is my new Strapi project. Now your Strapi backend is up and running. So let's bring in Tiptap. Now that my app is up and running, I can stop my server and open up my code editor so I can continue from there. So let's install our Tiptap plugin. As you can see, here is how to install it. You run npm install at Notum CZ Strapi plugin Tiptap editor, and I'll hit enter. After installing this Tiptap plugin, the next thing is to configure your plugin. So I'll head over to the config folder and then the plugins.ts file. I'll replace this. And basically what I did was to include my Tiptap editor and then specified my configuration. My configuration are my presets, and you can give it any name. For minimal, I just want bold, italic, and underline. Remember to set them true, otherwise they won't be available. So this is the standard preset, which is for a standard kind of editor. And then this is the full, which I want almost everything to be available. So once that is done, I can then restart my server. npm run dev. Now, to confirm that this is working, I will have to create a collection type. So I will head over to my content type builder and I'll create a blog collection type. The display name will be blog. I'll click continue, and then I'll add a new field. I'll start with title. It's going to be a text. I'll call it title, and it's going to be a short text. I'll add another field by clicking the add another field button. This time is going to be the banner of the blog entry. So it's going to be of media type or media field. I'll call it banner. And it's going to be a single media. And I'll add in my custom editor, which will be for my rich text. So now, or previously, I would have used the default rich text blocks or the rich text markdown. But because I have Tiptap installed, I'll select custom. And here you can see the rich text Tiptap plugin that we've just installed. So I'll select this, and then the name would be content. Then I'll click finish. Once this is done, I'll click save, and I'll wait for my Strapi to restart. Now I can proceed to create my entries in the content manager. Now, before I create my entry, if you notice, the content here says no editor preset configured, showing minimal editor. Now, this is because we've not selected the presets we want. Remember, in our code, we've specified the presets we want, which is minimal, standard, and full. You can create as many as you want. So to do that, we have to head over to the content type builder, head over to the content custom field, edit it, head over to the advanced settings, and then select the presets we want. I want the full preset, or let's test the minimal. So we'll select minimal and click finish, and then click save, and then we'll wait for our Strapi app to restart. Once that is done, I'll head over to my content manager and my blog collection type and try creating a new entry. And as you can see, this is a minimal text editor, but I want more. So I'll have to head over to the content type builder and select the full preset. So let me do that. I'll head over to content, advanced settings, and select the full. I'll click finish and then save. And now when I head over to my content manager, I can create a new entry with all my extensions available, the bold, italics, and more. Here you can now start adding your entries. I will create my first entry. Here is my first entry, the last server at the edge of the world. Here is my banner. Here is my content. As you can see, I have my code block. I have a table. I have an image. So you can add more. You can play around with it, select some images as much as you want, and publish. So go ahead and create as many entries as possible. And as you can see, I already have my entries created. Tiptap stores our content as a prose mirror based kind of JSON document, which is a tree of many nodes. And when we fetch our content, we should see this tree with different nodes, such as code, text, headings, paragraphs, and so on. Now, before we render this on the front end, we have to enable API permissions for our images and for our blog collection type. So I'll head over to settings. Under the users and permissions plugin, click roles, and for public, we want for blog, the find one and the find. And then for your media library, the same for find one and find. And make sure you click save. Now that we've set up our Strapi backend and configured our Tiptap editor, let's fetch these entries and render them on the front end using Next.js. So I'll run npx create next app and the name of my front end project. I'll just call it front end and I'll hit enter. Ensure you follow the prompts, and here is the one we'll be using. I'll be using the recommended defaults, and then I'll wait for the dependencies to be installed. Once your Next.js app has been installed, you need to start up your Next.js development server. And to do that, cd into your front end and run npm run dev. And here is your new Next.js project. Now that our Next.js front end is up and running, let's install Tiptap and other Tiptap dependencies. And here is what I'm installing. First, I'm installing the Tiptap React package, which has all the components we need for our Next.js application. And then we have the Tiptap PM, which is the prose mirror wrapper. And then we have the Tiptap starter kit, which contains all the basic Tiptap extensions such as bold, italics, and so on. So I'll hit enter. Once that is done, I will clear, then I will install other dependencies. And for us to use Tiptap, we need to install some extensions. because ordinarily the extensions don't come with the starter kit. Like your table, your image, they need to be installed separately. So let me install these extensions. Do not worry, I have provided a link to this integration page where you find everything and all the extensions you will be installing. So let me paste it here. Here is the extensions I'm installing. Because I have some tables, I would install the Tiptap extension table. Because I have a table row, I will also be installing the Tiptap extension table row. Because I have a table cell, I'll be doing the same, and the same for table header and the extension for image. So let's hit enter. Now that has been installed, let's proceed to the next step, which is to install the Strapi client library that will fetch all our content from our Strapi backend. And I will install this by running npm install at Strapi client. Once that is done, let's create a utility file. So inside the app folder, I will create a new file called utils.ts. And here I'll paste in the following code. Now, here is what this code does. I have imported my Strapi client and I configured it as an SDK with the base URL, as my Strapi backend URL, which is the API. And then I have my Strapi URL, which is a constant, which I'll be using for my front end images and others. And then I have my fixed image URLs. Basically, it fixes all the nodes fetched that are images by appending the Strapi URL to the SRC or source attributes of the images. And then here I exported this, which is the SDK, the Strapi URL, and the fixed image URLs function. Once that is done, the next thing is to make sure that we have our images displayed correctly. And to do that, you need to go to your next config. And here you can replace it with the following code. Here I set up my remote patterns, which is for localhost 1337 and the path name. And notice I dangerously allowed local IP. In case you don't do this, you won't have your images rendered on your front end. Once that is done, the next thing I want you to do is to update your global.css file. Currently, it's using Tailwind, but I don't want to use Tailwind because I have to style my Tiptap nodes. So to do that, I'll replace this. And as you can see here, I have the styling for Tiptap content, and here I have 4 different HTML elements. Style yours as you want, but this is how I want it. And don't forget, the full code is in the video description below. So once that is done, let's proceed to the next step of fetching all this content on the front end. And to do that, you need to go to page.tsx. I will replace this. So what does this code do? It imports the SDK, like we mentioned before, with the Strapi URL in the utils file. It also imports the next image component, and we created a function that fetches the blocks, and it populates the banner, which is the image, and then returns the data. And as you can see here, we awaited the getAllPost function created above, and then we mapped the returned content by displaying the image and then the link to the entry showing the title of the blog post. So let's head over to our homepage, and as you can see here, here is my homepage with the different blog post entries. Now the next step is how to render this, and to render it, make sure you head over to your app folder, create a new folder called ID, which is for slugs, and inside here create a new one called page.tsx, and here I'll paste in the following code. So this is a client component, and we are using client component because we'll be using some hooks, and here we imported the use hook, the use effect hook, and the use state hook, which we'll see why shortly. And we also imported our utils functions and variables, and then we imported editor content and they use editor hook. We also imported the starter kit and then some extensions like I mentioned previously. Because we installed the image component from the extensions of Tiptap, we had to rename the image from Next and called it Next image. So it takes a props, which is the parameter, which is this one here. And here we get the ID from these parameters. We create the use state, which holds values or state values like the title, the banner, and then the content. And we created a use effect, which fetches a single post using the SDK collection types. It awaits the fetched entry by using the ID, which is the document ID of the entry. Then we passed the JSON document. Remember, in our front end, when we fetch the content, we get a JSON tree of nodes from Tiptap, and we have to pass it. So once that is passed, we set the state value of title, the banner, and then the content. Now, notice we called the fix image URLs, which fixes the images present in our past content. So it attaches the Strapi URL to the image src, and then when it mounts, it fetches the single post. Now we use the use editor hook, which is provided by Tiptap, to load our editor, and then as we load it, we pass in the extensions we want, the starter kit with the default or basic extensions, the table, table row, table cell, and table header with the image extension. The content will be the post content, which we have fetched and set here, and we'll make this editable false. I'll tell you why shortly, and we don't want it to render immediately, otherwise it will break. And then we also pass in the post content here. So right here we display the title, the image banner, and then the editor content, which we passed in the editor value and props. So once that is done, let's check our front end. When we click on an entry, we should have it rendered. So notice I told you something about setting it to false. So if you set this to true, it becomes editable. Let me refresh. Now you can see it's editable. Our Tiptap content is editable. This is editable, but we want to set it to false because we only want to render it. Now notice the code blocks, they are not highlighted. To do that, you need to use another extension called the code block lowlight extension. You can use it to format your codes and make sure they are looking good. And that is how you can replace the default Strapi editor with a custom one such as Tiptap. Mind you, this only works for Strapi 5. So if you're not using Strapi 5, please upgrade to the latest version of Strapi. If you want to learn more, check out the integration page below and the GitHub repository with all the complete code. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.